It's a very tough injury to come back from, that kind of injury. I don't know the severity of it, but if he has broken his jaw, you know, it's a tough one to come back from. But he's a crazy fucker. We take our hat off to him.
Serious update after the fight, as Fabio Wardley has been rushed to hospital following heavy damage against Daniel Dubois. Eddie Hearn admitted shock at the punishment taken, especially to the jaw area, with reports suggesting stitches and urgent medical attention were required after a brutal heavyweight war.
But I was surprised at the amount of shots that he took in the end, and that he wasn't out cold. That's what I was surprised about. You know, and I said he's going to do very well to not get hurt in this fight. Unfortunately, he got badly hurt with the jaw.
Frank Warren explains that after the fight, doctors immediately examined Fabio Wardley and had to carefully approve any medication before giving it to him. This highlights how serious the situation became after his brutal clash with Daniel Dubois. Wardley needed urgent medical attention, showing the real physical toll of that heavyweight war once the action inside the ring was over.
Doctor examined him, gave him some medication, but the medication he gave him, it obviously had to be checked that it didn't.
Derek Chisora feels the fight between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois should have been stopped in round 10 because Wardley was bleeding heavily and taking serious punishment at that stage. In his view, the damage was becoming too dangerous to continue. This moment now feels even more worrying as Wardley was later rushed to hospital after the fight, confirming just how brutal and physically damaging that final phase of the contest really was.
Listen, the fight was stopped in round 10 because his nose was bleeding so badly.
What's next to him? Are we hearing a rematch calls? If not, who do you want to see him fight?
Nobody wants to see the rematch.
Frank Warren called the fight a phenomenal battle and said it exceeded all expectations, with both Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois showing incredible heart and recovery after knockdowns. He praised the back-and-forth nature of the contest. However, what started as a thrilling spectacle has now turned serious because Wardley ended up hospitalized after taking severe punishment in that brutal heavyweight war.
I said it, don't blink, it's going to be the most amazing few rounds. It was much better than that. It was just a phenomenal fight, phenomenal to watch, to witness and see these two guys, what they did bearing their soul and Daniel getting off the floor and canvas and coming back how he did. It swung both ways to fight, and it was just
Concerns are now being raised about Fabio Wardley's condition after the fight, with questions emerging about the long-term impact of the damage he sustained against Daniel Dubois. Observers are worried that the injuries, especially after being rushed to hospital, could affect his future in the sport. What was once seen as a brutal war is now becoming a serious medical talking point for the boxing world.
Probably shouldn't be doing that, right? There he goes again. Now again, I'm no doctor. I don't know, but it does seem like that's a bit of an issue. And of course, he just got the new ranch in Georgia, so I'm sure he's been doing crazy shit over there as well. Time to celebrate, he says. There's our medals.
Buddy McGirt believes the early knockdown changed the entire fight for Fabio Wardley, forcing him into a more aggressive and risky approach. After that moment, Wardley relied heavily on power shots, which created a dangerous war with Daniel Dubois. That same intensity also contributed to the punishment he suffered, which later led to his hospital situation after the fight.
Hell of a fight. I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round. After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken. You know what I mean? But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a rematch.
Dominic Ingle praised Fabio Wardley's toughness and called it one of the best fights he has ever witnessed. He highlighted how Wardley refused to quit even when exhausted and badly hurt, showing true warrior spirit. However, that same bravery came at a cost as Wardley was later hospitalized, proving just how damaging and punishing this heavyweight battle truly was.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit, his corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure, stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley has still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag, he looked dead on his feet. But what a fight that.
Derek Chisora criticized Fabio Wardley's approach, saying he abandoned fundamentals and relied too much on power shots during the fight. He believed Wardley did not use enough jab work or structured boxing. But despite the criticism, Wardley's effort in such a brutal fight led to severe damage, and his post-fight hospitalization shows the extreme physical toll of that war with Daniel Dubois.
Fabio was not ready for boxing. He was no jab, nothing, looking for power shots. It's like he didn't train. He was too busy commentating. Little bastard. He was supposed to fucking train in the gym. Dude, how many jabs did Fabio chuck? Less jabs. He didn't chuck no jabs. He didn't do anything we've seen before.
Daniel Dubois admits he had to mentally wake himself up during the fight, even needing that sharp reminder in the corner to stay focused. He explains how a true warrior must dig deep into that dark place to survive in moments of pressure. This shows how intense the battle with Fabio Wardley really was, pushing Dubois into situations where he had to fight not just physically, but mentally to stay in control and come out on top.
Yeah, I needed that slap just to wake up, stay in reality, just not slip. I got to dig deep. And as a warrior, you have to dig deep. You've got to go to that dark place and come out on top.
Don Charles strongly defends Daniel Dubois, saying no one can question his heart or mentality again after this fight. He believes all criticism about quitting should now be gone and highlights Dubois as a two-time heavyweight champion under his guidance. But despite this confidence, Fabio Wardley's performance still created serious moments of danger in the fight, showing that even champions were pushed to their limits in this brutal encounter.
Nobody could ever question this young man again. Yeah? All that quitting nonsense. Nobody will ever question him again.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world under you.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
There's more to come. There's more to come. We were in there with a very dangerous fighter in the name of Fabio Wardley. He should be proud of himself.
Fraser Clark praises Fabio Wardley as a pure warrior, admitting the fight was not the most technical, but one of the most brutal and entertaining heavyweight wars he has seen. He highlights the blood and guts nature of the contest and how both fighters gave everything. Even after defeat, Wardley's performance showed improvement and learning under pressure, but the physical cost was huge, especially considering the injuries that later sent him to hospital. David Haye is left amazed by the level of action, calling it one of the most entertaining heavyweight fights he has ever seen. He praises both fighters for their heart, bravery, and non-stop energy throughout every round. But behind the entertainment lies a serious reality, as Fabio Wardley's condition after the fight shows how much punishment he absorbed, turning this classic into a worrying situation for his health.
I've never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining, round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both gave everything they had. I could watch that 10 times over.
Daniel Dubois reflects on a difficult fight where he admits feeling nervous early on before regaining control through discipline and toughness. He talks about needing that wake-up moment in the corner to refocus and survive the battle. His words highlight just how intense the fight with Fabio Wardley was, where both men were forced into deep waters, making it one of the most physically and mentally demanding heavyweight clashes in recent memory.
What a warrior he is, and came through that test. Coming off the back of a loss, I was a bit nervy to start off with and a bit all over the place, but I pulled it together and got the victory.
David Haye is left amazed by the level of action, calling it one of the most entertaining heavyweight fights he has ever seen. He praises both fighters for their heart, bravery, and non-stop energy throughout every round. But behind the entertainment lies a serious reality, as Fabio Wardley's condition after the fight shows how much punishment he absorbed, turning this classic into a worrying situation for his health.
that there was giving Dubois hope that, okay, then I can stand in front of my target and I can land with a jab. And he knew he was softening up Wardley with a jab.
Daniel Dubois reflects on a difficult fight where he admits feeling nervous early on before regaining control through discipline and toughness. He talks about needing that wake-up moment in the corner to refocus and survive the battle. His words highlight just how intense the fight with Fabio Wardley was, where both men were forced into deep waters, making it one of the most physically and mentally demanding heavyweight clashes in recent memory.
What a fight! And what a chin! I can't believe after all that, after all the punishment it took, Wardley's still never been down. Incredible chin. The man's built different. Unbelievable. And what a performance on Dubois.
David Haye is left amazed by the level of action, calling it one of the most entertaining heavyweight fights he has ever seen. He praises both fighters for their heart, bravery, and non-stop energy throughout every round. But behind the entertainment lies a serious reality, as Fabio Wardley's condition after the fight shows how much punishment he absorbed, turning this classic into a worrying situation for his health. Daniel Dubois reflects on a difficult fight where he admits feeling nervous early on before regaining control through discipline and toughness. He talks about needing that wake-up moment in the corner to refocus and survive the battle. His words highlight just how intense the fight with Fabio Wardley was, where both men were forced into deep waters, making it one of the most physically and mentally demanding heavyweight clashes in recent memory.
It was just incredible. I couldn't believe what I was watching at times there. I mean, listen, it was all going wrong at the start, wasn't it? When Fabio put him down a couple of times, but Daniel showed the heart of a lion in there, got it together, got behind his jab, and really started busting Fabio up. And by the way, Fabio Wardley is one hard bastard. My God, what a hard man. So is Daniel Dubois. Two very, very tough, strong men going at it for the world heavyweight title.
David Haye is left amazed by the level of action, calling it one of the most entertaining heavyweight fights he has ever seen. He praises both fighters for their heart, bravery, and non-stop energy throughout every round. But behind the entertainment lies a serious reality, as Fabio Wardley's condition after the fight shows how much punishment he absorbed, turning this classic into a worrying situation for his health.
Yeah, well done, Daniel Dubois. Fabio Wardley, absolute warrior. It wasn't the most skilled heavyweight fight I've ever seen, but it was just what the fans wanted to see. The fans wanted that. I mean, that was blood and guts, but well done, Daniel Dubois. Good fight.
Daniel Dubois reflects on a difficult fight where he admits feeling nervous early on before regaining control through discipline and toughness. He talks about needing that wake-up moment in the corner to refocus and survive the battle. His words highlight just how intense the fight with Fabio Wardley was, where both men were forced into deep waters, making it one of the most physically and mentally demanding heavyweight clashes in recent memory.